I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry. This weekend, temperatures are going to keep on rising. I'm updating who's going to get back into the 80s again, and I'm timing out more rain.
Plus, you might be overpaying on some of your bills. We sit down with a financial expert to find out how you can be putting some extra cash back in your pocket. And a road rage incident turns deadly. We're learning more about the charges a local woman is now facing after shooting someone in the dispute. Live starting at 4 on Eyewitness News.
Central Florida's Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry, tracking storms for 28 years.
It's my job to keep you safe.
Only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News. This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 4. Coverage you can count on.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry. Coming up at 4. Of course, the weather's gorgeous for now, but our next storm system already building back here to the west. I'm updating how long we have before rain returns.
It was like all hell broke loose. Like it just happened so fast and so intense.
A major update 3 years after this deadly explosion at the Magic in the Sky fireworks facility. What we learned about a settlement in the case and why the company at the center of it could soon be facing criminal charges.
Plus, newly released video of the moment a woman shot a man in a deadly case of road rage.
The video shows Ms. Algio driving up behind Mr. Setkoff.
That's correct.
We're live on the new developments in this case as we wait to hear a decision from the judge.
We will have all those stories and more for you in just a moment. But good afternoon. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Darlene Jones. Happening right now, crews are monitoring a brush fire in the Orlando area. It has already burned about 70 acres near Barack Obama Parkway and Eagle Nest Park. This is a live look right now from our drone 9. You can see the smoke off there in the distance as the Orlando Fire Department and Florida Department of Forestry now say it is 100% contained. So that is the good news. But the smoke is still smoldering in the area, which is causing what you see here, that smog in the air. And
So if folks are wondering what's
going
the smoke
on?
That is why. And it's certainly, though, been a beautiful end of the work week despite that persistent dryness. Certified Chief Meteorologist Tom Terry live in Severe Weather Center 9. And Tom, you got some showers that hopefully could help out in the next few days.
Yeah, we're going to get some rain. It's going to be closer to late on Sunday as this system, another system we're watching out west, will get closer. But this is the same area that we were watching chug away yesterday. Now, the winds have changed a little bit. You see the smoke going more either straight up or it's starting to lift from south to north. The dryness is still there. Dew point 25, dew point 35. The lower this number, the drier the air. Anything below 60 is pretty dry, but not that uncommon for this being the dry season behind these cold fronts. You can see the winds right now are kind of variable. It actually was out of the south a little bit in the last hour. Now we're light out of the north at 3, so the smoke is just going to kind of linger and filter in this area. This is downtown Orlando, so we're kind of on the west side of I-4 and south of the 408. So anywhere in this area between Highway 50, Pine Hills, you're likely to be smelling some of that smoke out there for tonight. At least we've taken some of the windiness out, but we still have the low humidity, the dry vegetation, and the high evaporation rates. As temperatures keep climbing, things dry out faster. Coming up in a minute, our next storm system on the way. I'm updating the start of more rain. Darlene?
All right, thanks, Tom. The victims of a horrific warehouse fire in December of 2022 have now settled with the company and its owners. Here is video from that scene. Back in 2022, 4 young employees died here in this explosion. A 5th is still recovering from injuries. Channel 9's Nick Papantonis reports this settlement impacts a criminal investigation that has been on hold. And we've also learned Magic in the Sky has settled with OSHA, the federal agency overseeing the investigation, which found a dozen safety violations. The agency agreed to reduce the fines from $109,000 to $79,000.
New court video shows the moment a woman shot and killed a man after a road rage incident that happened in Orlando.
Yeah, during a hearing for that suspect, a judge saw the moment leading up to that shooting and when shots were fired. Channel 9's Sabrina Majori was inside of that courtroom where a judge will soon decide whether to allow bond. Sabrina, the suspect's attorneys say this was all a case of self-defense.
Yeah, and Darlene, that really is the big question here. Now, Algio's attorney, Mark O'Mara, famously made that case for George Zimmerman and, of course, won. Meanwhile, State Attorney Monique Worrell made the case for prosecutors that Algio was the aggressor in this. And that self-defense argument is going to be the subject of another hearing and eventually a trial as well. In the meantime, a judge is going to go ahead and review all the arguments of this. We expect her to make a decision on whether or not Algeo will get bond, possibly by the end of the day. And it's something that her husband pleaded for. That part of the story coming up at 6. But for now, reporting live in Orlando, I'm Sabrina Majore, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Tomorrow, a man who died during a chase involving Orlando police will be laid to rest. Gerald Neal, who you see here, died earlier this month when Orlando police were chasing a suspect when the unreadable license plate. State troopers say the suspect's car and an unmarked OPD cruiser hit Neal. His service is tomorrow afternoon at the Lighthouse Tabernacle of Prayer on South Central Avenue in Apopka. Starts at 2:30.
Orlando wants more retail and restaurant locations downtown. Our partners at the Orlando Business Journal say the city is working to expand a program that helps attract new business. They're focusing on Magnolia Avenue to Roslyn. The city's program would provide businesses with reimbursement for tenant improvement and rent expenses. City Council has to sign off on it, which could happen as early as March 24th. Next week, the Florida Senate will hold a celebration of life ceremony to honor State Senator Geraldine Thompson. She died last month after complications from knee surgery. The ceremony will be at noon Thursday in the Senate chamber.
Flags are flying at half-staff to honor a former Florida lawmaker who died earlier this week. Lincoln Diaz-Balart represented Miami-Dade County in the State House and Senate. In 1992, he was elected to Congress, where he served until 2011. Yesterday, Governor Ron DeSantis ordered flags to be lowered from sunrise to sunset today. Diaz-Balart was 70 years old. State lawmakers are taking the first steps to building a pathway to eliminate property taxes in Florida. An economic impact study is now being prepared. State lawmakers have proposed a series of measures that would ask voters in 2026, that's next year, to expand the homestead property tax exemption. State Representative Ray Chamberlain of Bellevue hopes to eliminate property taxes, saying Floridians should not be permanently taxed on their homes.
The free state of Florida should be a place where those who work hard for their whole life to pay off their mortgage can own their home without ever making another payment again.
Opposition to eliminating property taxes centers around how to make up for the lost revenue. Local governments rely heavily on property taxes to pay for things like infrastructure, police, fire, and other emergency services.
President Donald Trump says he's now considering large-scale tariffs on Russia to help end the war in Ukraine. Perry Rissom reports on the president's reaction to the stock market volatility. President Trump does acknowledge the tariffs will affect American consumers. Experts say Americans will likely have to pay more on everything from clothing to food. The president calls them short-term interruptions. The president says the tariffs are crucial in negotiations for border security and in bringing industry back to the U.S.
The Intuitive Machines private lunar lander that touched down on the moon yesterday has been declared dead in a crater on the moon's south pole after landing sideways on the moon, missing its mark by more than 800 feet. The Athena lander was able to send back photos that you see here. It is unlikely, though, that the batteries can be recharged given where the solar panels are now positioned.
Boy, landing on the moon is hard. Well, we're heading into a spring break weekend, just in time for temperatures to start climbing again. I'm updating Future Track 9, looking at our rain time.
And a SpaceX launch last night ended in flames with debris raining down all over Florida and a ground stop at most major airports.
It was huge. Coming up, the future of Starship on our Space Coast. Mel.
Eyewitness 9 on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, bringing you closer to the scene during live breaking news. Sponsored by Attorney Dan Newland. Central Florida's chief meteorologist, Tom Terry.
People have really trusted me for nearly 3 decades, and that's something I take personally.
Tracking storms for 28 years.
I've seen just about everything you can see here weather-wise, so no matter what the weather brings, I vow to get it right.
With a proven legacy built on trust.
It's my job to give you the most accurate details and keep you safe.
Central Florida's chief meteorologist, Tom Terry, only on Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
On On our Space Coast, Artemis II teams are hoping to roll NASA's SLS rocket to the launch pad by the end of the year.
And this Friday, Channel 9's Melanie Holt got a chance to see what's being done to prepare for the agency for its first flight around the moon with astronauts in more than 5 decades. This afternoon, NASA SpaceX Crew 10 astronauts arrived at the Kennedy Space Center ahead of their March 12th launch to the International Space Station. The 4-member crew will spend about 4 months aboard the space station as part of NASA's Commercial Crew Program. The international crew includes 2 NASA astronauts, a Russian cosmonaut, and an astronaut from Japan. The Ocoee girls basketball team made school history today. For the first time, they played in the Class 7A semifinal for a chance at the state championship. We were on campus today when the school loaded this charter bus for that game over in Lakeland this morning. The Knights went head-to-head with Winter Haven, which has made it to the Final Four 15 of the last 17 seasons. It's been a season to remember for the Knights.
What has been your favorite moment for the whole season?
The whole season, my favorite moment was the Sierra night, where we all just got to celebrate with our families and our friends, and then everybody just came out to the game, and the girls won, of course, and it was just full of like happiness and memories.
Full of happiness and memories, she says. Unfortunately, the Lady Knights lost 65-41, but as she said, the season has been filled with so many memories, and we are proud of you, Ocoee Knights.
Congratulations, ladies. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment just to get to that point.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember being back in high school, we actually had a football team that did pretty well. Kept the stats. I was not on the team. You're shocked by this. But they actually had one of those buses where they chartered. And it was like big deal. Like,
Yeah, big deal.
Yep. All right. Way back.
You're a big deal. Now you get 3 minutes. You get more time than we do.
I'm out of time here already, talking too much old school stuff. This is a fire that we were watching start yesterday, and it's still chugging along today. This is in the Metro West area, Eagle Nest Park, and some of that smoke has kind of been drifting up to the 408 Highway 50 corridor, just kind of spreading around that area southwest of Orlando. Here's a live view from Daytona, where we are wrapping up Bike Week this weekend. We also overlap this weekend for some spring breakers. So we're going to have more and more people enjoying what's going to be a fantastic overall weekend, especially tomorrow. Temperatures upper 70s. The water, though, it's a little chilly, okay? 60s, low 60s, that's it. We're running still a little bit behind after a kind of a colder winter. Surf less than 2 feet, the high tide in the afternoon looks great. Temperatures right now are warming up over yesterday, mid-70s, close to a seasonal day. We'll be in the 80s by tomorrow for a lot of us, and again, wall-to-wall sunshine. Back to the west, we're watching some cloud cover, not much rain yet, but here comes our next storm, which is swirling right over in here, southern Arizona. This is going to be making a trek across the country, and as we talked about yesterday, the last time we had one of these rascals, it was quite the whopper. We had a lot of cold air, a lot of wind. It was a big wind machine, severe weather everywhere. This one's going to be a little bit more tame, but still our rain chances are going to be increasing, especially North Florida by Saturday and Sunday. The Villages and Lady Lake, we've got a great day for you tomorrow, and up in Ormond Beach as well. Temperatures climb back into the mid to upper 70s, but we will see a little better chance for some showers, mainly to the north tomorrow and across our northern third heading into Sunday. But look at these daytime highs tomorrow, 80, 82, maybe 83. Coming up the next half hour, we're going to time out more of that rain. It looks like it'll be closer to Sunday late day and Sunday overnight, but it really depends on where you are. The farther north you are, the more likely you are to get some of that 40% rain coverage on Sunday, and even a couple of showers possible late on Saturday. I'll be updating that. Of course, we'll talk too about this springing forward, because we're going to be adding not only that extra hour of evening daylight from moving it around, we're going to create our own extra daylight courtesy of longer days. We'll talk about that too. Darlene?
Thanks, Tom. Tax season can be stressful, especially for those with a tight budget. All new at 5, how a service from Goodwill is helping Central Floridians file their taxes for free.
Plus, a walk for a great cause in Cranes Roost Park coming up. How a local organization is helping women fight breast cancer one step at a time. The next tax season is here. Clark Howard's going to let you know if you should file taxes yourself or hire an expert. Next. Tax season is underway, and you may be wondering if you should file yourself or actually hire someone to do it.
The question everyone is asking. Channel 9 Consumer Advisor Clark Howard says that depends on your individual circumstances. Clark helps our Action 9 team look out for consumers every day, and there are more valuable resources online at clark.com.
A Florida man is behind bars after chasing a woman with an axe. Still ahead of 4. What led up to this violent confrontation? Plus, the Arnold Palmer Invitational is here, and we are live from Bay Hill, the latest live from the course.
And next, the future of SpaceX's Starship on our Space Coast after last night's launch ended in an explosion.
This Tower Cam shot, sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
You know, the thing about breaking news, it's not scripted. This is live. We're bringing it to you as it happens.
And we're going to bring it to you straight, we're going to bring it to you accurately, and we're going to bring it to you fast.
The most detailed information in the most concise way that we know how.
When there is a big story, we know we are the place people turn.
We are really able to walk you through it.
And it's our commitment, it's our promise to our community.
That's not a commercial, that's a fact.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 4. Coverage you can count on.
You know, on a day like today, it's one of the better rounds I've played all year.
Some of the world's best golfers are back here in Central Florida. The Arnold Palmer Invitational is here, and we're live from Bay Hill.
Plus, the explosion in the sky that sent debris flying through South Florida and the Bahamas. The future of Starship on Florida's Space Coast after another setback. Yeah, another big setback for SpaceX after its Starship aircraft exploded minutes after taking off from Texas. Good afternoon. I'm Martha Sigalski.
And I'm Darlene Jones. The explosion sent debris flying through the sky near South Florida and parts of the Bahamas. This prompted the FAA to issue ground stops in parts of South and Central Florida, including right here in Orlando.
We saw very sudden big explosion, a fireball, but then around it, you know, kind of that expansive jellyfish expanding really quickly.
You may remember this is, of course, the second consecutive mishap for the rocket. A launch in January sent flaming debris streaking across part of the Caribbean. Channel 9's Q McCray learned SpaceX hopes to one day launch the Starship rocket from our Space Coast. A Florida man was arrested after he allegedly chased a woman with an axe. Body camera video from police shows the moment they caught the suspect. The victim, who's not seen here, told police she observed a man walking, screaming racial slurs. When she confronted him and yelled for him to stop, she said he picked up an axe from the bed of a truck and started to walk toward her, swinging the axe and screaming.
He came running down the sidewalk. A lot of witnesses and passerbyers, they were in fear for their lives as well.
The suspect, John Harper, has been charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Faster internet is coming to Lake County. A company announcing today it will soon begin the process of adding fiber optic service to the area. It will be coming to Eustis, Leesburg, Mount Dora, and Tavares. Construction is set to begin this spring and is expected to take 2 years.
We're learning more about efforts to build more affordable housing in Melbourne. Mayor Paul Alfrey says the city council will vote to approve a new project on Tuesday night. We've told you about Providence Place before. It'll replace the Daily Bread Outreach Center, which will close in about 2 months. Providence will have nearly 120 units and is expected to open by the end of 2027.
Well, it is almost that time again to spring forward. It happens Saturday night before you go to bed. Daylight saving time begins Sunday at 2 a.m. And a new poll conducted by Stetson University says 54% of Americans favor eliminating all these clock changes. And while it'll mean more daylight during the evening hours coming up for us, it can also disrupt our sleep patterns. Reporter Mandy Gaither spoke to a sleep psychologist about how to not lose sleep over this upcoming time change. Experts also say avoiding those large meals, alcohol before bedtime, and avoiding caffeine late in the day. The agency also says regular exercise, having a healthy diet can also help sleep. I wanted to show you, in addition to springing forward, where we just move that hour of daylight from the morning to the evenings, we've got some pretty big changes coming to the amount of daylight because the days are getting longer. Almost 2 minutes of extra daylight are added each day this time of the year. It goes all the way through June. Today, we had just over 12 hours of daylight. twilight, and that's going to climb all the way to almost 14 hours of daylight by June when we have the summer solstice. The latest sunset, by the way, is at 8:26, and when you add in what's called civil twilight, it's going to be relatively light till almost 9 o'clock by the time we get to summer. Welcome to Florida. The days are long here. That means we're going to add from today an additional 2 hours and 9 minutes, Martha, of additional Florida sunshine to our days.
We'll take it, Tom. Thank you. A new bill has been introduced in Florida to lower grocery costs. The new legislation is targeting price fixing by food corporations. Those in favor of the bill say this piece of legislation will hold the corporations accountable and prevent those unfair price hikes, making groceries more affordable.
Food insecurity continues to be a challenge in Central Florida. A survey conducted by No Kid Hungry of Florida revealed that 72% of Floridians found it more difficult to afford groceries compared to the previous year.
In Washington, President Donald Trump has said he believes the key to lowering grocery prices is resolving supply chain issues to meet demand.
Employment growth is rebounding across the country, but has not hit expectations. The U.S. economy added 151,000 jobs in February as employment growth rebounded. That was below the 160,000 expected. The unemployment rate ticked up to 4.1% from 4% the month previously. The Bureau of Labor Statistics data released today marks another solid month of gains and a continuation of an historic expansion in the labor market.
Some Americans are taking part in a week-long boycott against Amazon. Organizers claim Amazon hurts small businesses and exploits its workforce. In addition to Amazon, the union is also pushing for people to avoid the other companies owned by the retail giant, which include Ring, Whole Foods, and Prime Video. Last week, the grassroots group called for people to not shop at major chains for 24 hours, and it went viral. Amazon has not issued a comment on this matter. The second round of the Arnold Palmer Invitational is underway at Bay Hill Club and Lodge.
This is the PGA Tour stop in Orlando, and the weather is perfect for both the golfers and fans who made the trip. Channel 9 sports anchor Alex Walker is live at Bay Hill, and we're now at the second round, Alex.
Hey, Martha and Darlene, what a perfect day here at Bay Hill for the second round of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. The sun is shining, there's a light breeze, and there's some household names at the top of the leaderboard. Major champions like Rory McIlroy, Colin Morikawa, and Wyndham Clark, all in contention here at the API. And how about Jason Day? He fires the low round of the day in 8 under 64. He started the day at 4 over par, enters the week at 4 under par. He is certainly in contention as the third round approaches. Live at Bay Hill, Alex Walker, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Alex, thanks so much. A lane closure will be causing shakeups on the 408. Channel 9 anchor Alexa Lorenzo joins us in the studio with a way to protect your commute.
The Central Florida Expressway Authority is giving you a heads up for some ongoing construction on the 408 eastbound off-ramp to Conway Road. Drivers will be seeing road work there until the end of April of this year. So it's not a full closure of this off-ramp. Again, the 408 eastbound onto Conway Road. It's a continuous single lane closure. So you'll see this overnight, early morning, rush hour. So those delays may be an issue for drivers moving through. So we want to get you up to speed on what you need to know through that stretch. Again, it's a continuous lane closure, 408 eastbound off ramp right here to Conway Road. And we could also see some periodic single lane closures on Conway Road with this project. So again, you'll need to get used to this. It starts today and will remain in place until the end of April. In the studio, I'm Alexa Lorenzo for Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Butterfly populations are dropping at an alarming rate, and researchers say it could have some serious consequences. A new study shows butterfly numbers have fallen about 20% since 2000, with the Southwest being hit the hardest. Researchers point to climate change, drought, and pesticides as major factors. Experts warn the decline could impact pollination and agriculture.
We think that drought might be kind of the culprit there in terms of southwestern butterfly declines. Insecticides really were the #1 driver of declines for butterflies in the Midwest.
Nearly 1/3 of butterfly species have lost half their population, but there is some good news. Monarch numbers in Mexico nearly doubled this year. Martha?
It is getting more expensive to try your luck at the lottery. Coming up, why prices are going up for tickets on a popular game, Tom.
Right now, we have lots of sunshine back with us today. I'm tracking more rain also on the way with early warning future track 9 just ahead.
And next, a walk for a cause in Altamont Springs, how a local organization is helping women fight breast cancer.
Stocks are up on Wall Street today. Here's a final look at the numbers. People in our community rely on 9 Investigates.
We owe it to you to make sure that we're holding the powerful accountable.
This team gets results each and every day.
When you see Shannon or Jeff knocking on your door,
Jeff Beal at Channel 9.
how do you explain that? You better have the answers to their questions.
And our reporting doesn't stop until that happens.
People are drawn to Channel 9 because they can feel the ability that we have to get solutions.
Nearly 4 million women are living with breast cancer today, and raising money is key to fighting it.
And this weekend, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, along with 9 Family Connection, will be holding the More Than Pink Walk at Cranes Roost Park. Channel 9's Shannon Butler has one survivor's story and why she says she'll be walking this weekend. Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Proving the odds of...
Right. But you got to pay more money.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
You got to be in it to win it, they say.
Yeah, well, we still have this brush fire, 100% contained.
It's contained. It's just smoky.
That's right. We can see our live camera right there. There is the fire on the left. And again, that's in the Metro West area, Eagle Nest Park. And there's a little bit of a south breeze, so this is a little bit of smoke here. This, once we get north of 50, it'd be in the Pine Hills area, but generally on the south side, the Orla Vista area down toward the south, toward Metro West. 75 degrees right now. It's a beautiful day. Our fire danger still high, but we get a green check mark under the windy conditions. We don't have that issue, okay? But we still have the low humidity, the dry vegetation, the high evaporation rates as we have the warmer days, so everything's evaporating more quickly. We're starting to dry things out. But we're beautiful now. Great start to the weekend, but here comes our next storm system. It's going to roll through, but not have the same gusto that the last one did. It was awfully powerful storm. This one's going to be a little more meager. Now, as far as Saturday goes, most of us with dry weather, couple of showers showing up here on our forecast model, mainly bypassing us to the north. It's going to be tight, but heading up from Gainesville to Jacksonville, St. Augustine could get a pass. 20% on Saturday to account for an isolated shower mainly to the north. Most of us will not be involved with that. Now Sunday, the system gets a little closer. It's still back to the west, but you can see some early Sunday morning, Marion County, Northern Lake, Volusia, Flagler, just a little nugget coming through there in the morning. The afternoon looks good. We have Arnold Palmer still going on all the way up through Daytona Beach. The last day of bike week. We're starting spring break this weekend. A lot of Central Florida's on spring break, not next week, but the week following. But either way, Sunday afternoon, you can see the rain lining up here to the west. So it's going to be more of a Sunday late night, Monday morning type of affair. So again, late Sunday and then increasing for early next week. Here's your 7-day forecast. The weekend always in view. There's that slight chance, mainly northern fringe on Saturday for a shower. Sunday, it looks like we'll get a little bit dry out. Cooler for Monday. There's that shower chance primarily early, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to keep warming temperatures back up, and we're still looking at warm. Martha, keep those temperatures climbing yet more.
All right, Tom, thank you. If you feel like you're struggling to pay your monthly bills, you are not alone. All new at 5, we speak to a company and a financial therapist on ways to help reduce your financial stress.
The excitement returns.
The Jeopardy Invitational Tournament.
Players from the past are back.
Fantastic game.
Only one will emerge champion.
Who knows what's next?
Brought to you by Shark Coatings.
When it's cooler outside, staying comfortable is a must. Carolyn Gracie has a solution in today's local Steals and Deals. An arrest has been made in connection to an Orange County street takeover.
Coming up on New at 5, the role this teenager played in the event and the charges he's now facing.
Plus, new video shows the moment a road rage incident turned deadly. We're live outside of the Orange County Courthouse, awaiting the judge's decision on whether the suspect will be able to bond out of jail.
It is a smoky ride home for a lot of commuters in Orlando. We're going to have an update on this brush fire and wildfire season conditions just ahead.